James Burlow. I'm in Germantown. This is a test of one of a pair of prototypes of fire retardant attack fire hose. It's a concept I've used. This is pretty much generic national fire hose with action aluminum couplings. It's an 1.5-inch hose, going to be a demonstration on the duration. Boston Fire tested their hose on charge. It was 1 minute and 15 seconds. Charge, it lasted 3 minutes and 5 seconds before total failure. Here we go. On charge. Now the line is charged. You can see the outer jacket deteriorating. This fire, when tested with a thermal imager at Boston Fire, similar crib fire, was between 1,000 and 1,100 degrees at the optimum flame impingement. But this is approximate what it is. I've been to the NFPA 3 times. They're enthusiastic about this. They would like to change, make this part of an updated standard for attack fire hose for professional municipal fire departments. But it needs third-party comprehensive testing like from FM and UL. There is a second version that's much more robust than this. It has practically no effect on the flexibility, the weight of the hose. It may actually improve the tensile strength. You can see the outer jacket of poly is totally destroyed. This hose would have failed in a fire. We are now at 3 minutes and 15 seconds when the Boston hose failed when it was charged. Had a catastrophic failure at 3 minutes and 15 seconds. To last even 5 minutes would be significant. 10 minutes would be fantastic. Had this been the hose in the Back Bay fire, where Lieutenant Walsh and firefighter Kennedy lost their lives, whether the line was charged or uncharged, if it was charged, they would have been able to protect themselves in place or to evacuate. This would have saved their lives. As you can see, we have total flame impingement at its highest energy point, attacking the jacket of the hose, which is long gone. We're at over 6 minutes and 6 seconds now. Boston Fire did a test of the more robust version at Moon Island at their fire academy and claimed that it lasted 41 minutes before it showed any signs of failure, and it didn't suffer catastrophic failure like the unprotected hose. Charged or uncharged, their hose lasted 3 minutes and 15 seconds before total failure. Clearly at this point there would have been ample time to initiate action to protect them or to get the hose charged. But at least they would have had sufficient protection from an 1 3/4 line to keep the fire away. The hierarchy of Boston Fire suppressed this test. They do not want this to get out for obvious reasons because of the circumstances surrounding the death of the 2 firemen, Lieutenant Walsh and Firefighter Kennedy.
I don't believe it. That's incredible.
It's the 3rd time NIOSH officials, they're the supreme authority investigating fireman deaths nationwide. They have true experts, scientists, and technicians. And for the 3rd time firemen have been killed. This event for Lieutenant Walsh, Firefighter Kennedy, the previous with Ladder 26 killing Lieutenant Kelly, and then in 2007 August the West Roxbury Fire with Paul Cahill and Warren Payne were killed doing their job. In that case I spoke to the lead NIOSH official. You can see in the reports that Boston obstructed, and I guess even in the case of Kennedy and Walsh, intimidated officials use political drag to delay this. You can tell by the incoherent language of the report. In the first case with Firefighter Cahill, who did an outstanding job, it was defamed. He was the first firefighter in that restaurant. He was an aggressive, good firefighter, and they assassinated their character to cover up for what really happened and the circumstances leading especially to Warren Payne's death. Warren burned to death because of unsuitable fire gear. It was a bid rigging scheme for this Viking brand of fire gear. It was made as a sideline by this company Viking that makes marine safety equipment, and as a sideline made fire gear, but not for professional municipal firemen, only for first aid firefighting for fire brigades. There's a 2-day story in the Boston Herald on the story was killed, but Warren Payne burned to death because of that. It was like selling police bulletproof vests that wouldn't stop a bullet. If you read the report on Cahill Payne's death, you can see the NIOSH officials were obstructed by the Boston Police, City Hall, Boston Fire Department, the Suffolk County DA, and the medical examiner. They conspired together to conceal the circumstances of their death. Ultimately, the city was responsible for that fire for failing to inspect the ductwork and the routine inspections for cleanliness, which would have prevented the fire from starting to begin with.
Time for direct impingement.
We're at 11 minutes now. Clearly, this passed the test. Worcester Polytech was given up to $100,000 in 2 years and came up with nothing because they took the wrong approach. They're not firemen. Half a dozen times I contacted them for assistance and advice and to give my opinion. And each time they got progressively more rude and unresponsive. This would save lives. This would have saved Walsh and Kennedy's lives. And what they don't want you to know is that Engine 33 never got a hydrant. Firefighter Kennedy switched positions. Who was supposed to be the nozzle man, he was supposed to do the hydrant. Boston has an outstanding hydrant system. You can't go 100 yards anywhere, very few locations without a hydrant. There were 3 hydrants on that block, on that side, on a pair of separate feeds. The hose was never turned on. By the time it was, the hose was destroyed. The firefighter that was supposed to be the hydrant man never did